Today we're solving another Myrtle mystery, but the mysterious murder at the nature resort. The Dr. Logical was enjoying his vacation in the nature resort when, well, what do you think happened? A famous bear was killed. I don't know why I say it like that, but here are the suspects. Here are the weapons. Here are the locations. And here are the motives. For those of you who don't know how Murdle works, each suspect had one weapon to one location, and each of them had a motive to kill. However, only one of these suspects is a murderer today. So Logical began with what he knew for sure, which we don't have any right now. But what we do know is that the clues tells us Sir Ruling wanted to rage with jealousy. So it's definitely this one right here. Uncle Midnight wanted to hide an affair, which is this one. Then, whoever was at the hot springs spa was left-handed. And it's definitely right over here. That's the location. And we need to figure out who's left-handed. It's Uncle Midnight. The chef is right-handed. Babyface Blue is right-handed. And Sir Ruling is like right-handed, excuse me. So the only one that is left-handed right now is Sir Ruling. He has a motive and he has a place where he may or may have not committed the crime. An exploding pipe was not found by the ancient ruins. So, to figure out which one is the exploding pipe is this one right here. As far as the ancient ruins goes, it's this one right here. Cross that out. And then we gotta decode this code. But I can read it backwards or all scribbled up and stuff. The person with a brick wanted to fight for the revolution, which is this one right here. So we know that whoever uses this brick has a motive to do something with it. Now we move on to the statements. Only one of the suspects is a liar, while all three of them must tell the truth. So Uncle Midnight says, hey now, an exploding pipe was by the ancient ruins, which he is telling the truth. Oh, wait a minute. No, he was not telling the truth. The ancient ruins, remember, the exploding pipe was not found in the ancient ruins according to the clue. So he tricked me of thinking that it was, but it wasn't. So he is, without a shadow of a doubt, the killer. Uncle Midnight did it at the hot springs, and his motive is to hide the affair. I guess the bear saw it, but the question is, what weapon did he use? It could have been an exploding pipe, but we don't know for sure. Now, for Sir Ruling, he was by the ancient ruins, so he was telling the truth. Because we don't know what weapon is at the ancient ruins, but what we do know is that he was raged with jealousy. At the hot springs, Uncle Midnight was hiding an affair. As far as Babyface Blue goes, this person says, I know this. I was at the entrance gate. So Babyface Blue was at the entrance gate, which only means that the chef was at the party lake. So now we know all the suspects were at their specific locations, but we don't know which weapon did they use to commit the crime. As for the chef, he, or should I say she, brought the venom spider, which this person is telling the truth. So, what we know is that the chef has the weapon. We don't know what the motive is. But I know this, whoever has the brick was fighting for the revolution, which I could only assume it's definitely either the chef. Well, it's not the chef because there's no spider. So I can only assume it's Babyface Blue. But first, let me rethink of what I stated. Okay, so the chef brought the venomous spider, and this chef is at the party lake. That we know. As far as who has the brick, it is unclear. But what we do know is that the exploding pipe was not in the ancient ruins. It was not at the ancient ruins. We also know that someone who wanted the brick is trying to fight for the revolution. And apparently I would say it could have been one of these three, but I don't know for sure. So let's see. So now the main issue is who has the weapon of the climbing axe and the brick and the exploding pipe. Cerulean definitely wants to rage with jealousy. That we know for sure. Uncle Midnight wants to hide the affair, and he was the killer. The pipe was not found in the ancient ruins, so it could only be found either the hot springs or the entrance gate. But I wanted to state that that Uncle Midnight may have the exploding pipe, but I'm not 100% sure of that. But we all know that whoever has the brick wants to fight for the revolution. So we all know that the exploding pipe wasn't at the ancient ruins. That's one thing we have to make things clear. Let's see. What else? And I knew that Cerulean wasn't the one who uses the exploding pipe, so he could have used one of these two weapons. As far as Babyface Blue goes, it is unclear. It could be three of these weapons. I am overthinking this, but I can only imagine that Uncle Midnight has the exploding whatchamacallits. He has the exploding whatchamacallits. I can't even say what it was. He has the exploding pipe is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to guess that he has the exploding pipe because he lied about it, which is the only thing. It wasn't at the ancient ruins because the clues said so. That's evidence proving that it wasn't at the ancient ruins. So now Uncle Midnight tries to lie about it, which I believed it at first, but then I realized, oh wait a minute, the clue says it wasn't, or technically the evidence, which indicates that he is the killer. I know for a fact that Uncle Midnight was the killer because he lied. He was at the hot springs, and he was trying to hide an affair. But the issue is the murder weapon. But what I do know is that whoever has the brick is fighting for the revolution. And I can only guess um, whoever has the climbing axe is technically, what was that other motive? Is technically trying to escape blackmail. So this might be wrong because I don't know which weapon is. So let's see. Oh my goodness, I was right. I was right all along. I should have been doubtful about it, but I wasn't sure of it. So this confirms that the exploding pipe was at the hot spring spa, and it took me about 9 minutes and 55 seconds to solve this mystery. So we gotta figure out other things about Babyface Blue and Sir Ruling. So I already knew. Well, and also the chef's motives too. So I already knew that the Sir Ruling was at the ancient ruins, but there was no exploding whatchamacallits. His motive is to rage with jealousy, so he could have used the climbing axe, which leads to Babyface Blue having the brick, which is the reason to fight for the revolution. Yeah, the reason to fight for the revolution. I gotta check mark this, check mark that, and then do this. This only leads Chef Aubergine have a motive to escape blackmail by using a venomous spider, and it happened at the party lake. So, I just solved this mystery. It was a little bit tougher because a lot of clues or a lot of things that we need to get, but I knew for a fact that the exploding pipe is probably one of the murder weapons that I think is the one that Uncle Midnight used. But I didn't know if that is the right one, and then it was right. I am so happy about this result. I should be proud of myself, but I shouldn't because, but it's complicated of whether I should be proud of myself or not. And well, at least I did it without using any hints. I just gotta pay attention to the clues, which is the hardest part because it got me stumped at this moment. But we solve another mystery, and now it is time for me to wrap things up. I'll see you all in the next video.